just walk and talk this afternoon. I haven't gotten a stabilizer yet, so I will do that, and things will get a little bit less discombobulating when I do these. So I'll give everybody a minute to come in here. It's a really, really nice evening, and I think I have a really good signal all around my little garden area here. I have an acre that surrounds my little house. So there's my little cabin back there. Maybe we should definitely go over and take a look at all of my blooming daffodils. So I give y'all a minute to come in here. I'll take a few questions this evening as we walk and talk. So we have the eclipse coming up on the 25th, and that's a super duper big deal, as well as the one on the 8th. And somebody made a comment on my last video. Why would you think that the eclipse aspecting your Pluto would be a good thing? Well, because it means letting go. And sometimes letting go is painful, but God, it can also feel so good, and I'm ready. I am ready for that. So it's a huge event for a lot of people when it comes to giving up, relinquishing, sacrificing, letting go. That can be hard, because I think when we hang on to something, it's because we have a reason. And we have to get to a place where hanging on to something is actually more painful, it has more consequences than letting go of it and accepting what is. Because Pluto is very much about inevitabilities. And sometimes, giving in to the inevitable, it can take some time, but eventually we get there. Usually when hanging on is more painful than letting go. So there's a few things, two things in my life that I am ready to say goodbye to in a very permanent way. So I will be having some detaching ceremonies going on around this time. Hey, Ariana. Hey, Libra Sunshine. I like that name. Sun will be on your 1 degree Aries ascendant. Oh, yay. We're close to it. That sounds good. Let me turn my camera around. I'll give you guys a little bit of a better view while we talk here. So this is my permaculture garden that is across the little driveway from my cabin. So yeah, if you're having that on your ascendant, that's going to be something that's going to lend you some confidence. The ascendant is really about defending ourselves, taking care of ourselves, standing up for ourselves. So, Libra, Sunshine. Your place looks kind of like you. My place looks kind of like yours. Do I know you? Do I know you, Libra Sunshine? Maybe we're just of the same mind. Oh, look, all my plants blew over here. I need to pick these up and bring these over. No, I don't know you, I guess, Chrissy. We're just soul sisters, maybe. Yeah, I need to move these. I bonsai'd these into their pots here, as they've been sitting here waiting for something other than this abuse they've been taking. Let's walk up this way. This is my seating area that I need to rake clean and get ready for spring. Nobody's really been out here yet, except me. Let's walk up over this way. Hey, underground, how you doing? So this is my big planting area. And I'm still making soil here. I thought that I would be a lot farther along with this project, but I decided to give it another season and continue to work on soil building instead of rushing it. Sometimes I can rush things. I've been known to be impatient. I've got a pretty active Mars. What do I do with my place? Oh, we just live here. But I am wanting to turn it into more of a retreat. So I am building or my dream is, and I'm at the ground level of creating a garden for each sign. And I would like to be able to hold retreats here. So if you guys want to contribute to that, I will not tell you no. Because I have given a lot of free information out over the years, and I have contributed with my gifts over the years. And I would not turn down my audience if you guys wanted to help me with creating this dream here, this retreat here, so everybody can come enjoy it. And I can have more content for all of you. So let's take a look over here. Oh, the frogs. You can hear the frogs coming out. And go over and look at the frog pond over at my mom's place. How about that? You have to do something with this. This is a berry trellis. I dropped it on the ground and it's been sitting there for a couple of days, and I have to figure out where exactly I'm gonna put it. Yeah, let's do campfires and s'mores. We can do anything we want here. I have total freedom and autonomy here on this 10 acres. That's why we moved here. My day was great underground. Let's see, Rachel. Can you tell me anything about natal sun Leo with sun in the 8th house? Natal sun Leo in the 8th. So we have the sun that wants to be seen in Leo, but yet it's in a house or an area of life where things are hidden. Very similar to my sun, big in Leo, but in the 12th house. So we can wrestle with having our solar power be something that's totally seen or shared. We can have a harder time with figuring out who we are. It can take a bit longer for us to determine what some of our needs and our wants are, because when we have the sun in the 8th house, we are a secret to ourselves or a mystery to ourselves. And it can take a little bit longer for us to uncover the mysteries of ourselves. I think that a lot of our identity is potentially hidden under layers of trauma or hurt, or we're playing a bit of a peekaboo from ourselves when we have the sun in the 8th house. So we aren't as connected automatically like other people are to their solar power. That's something that we tend to uncover over the course of time. Let's see, I'm in Southern Oregon, Libra sunshine, a little valley called Williams, the Williams Valley. Let's see. Is that the same with Mars in the 8th? No, different. Mars is not so much our identity, it's how we go after what we want. You're right. Welcome, Rachel. So let's see. We'll just watch Violet here for a second while I look at this question. So when your desires be hidden from you? Yeah. Mars in the 8th house is extremely desirous. We're often not sure how ardent we are or how intent we are about getting what we want. With Mars in the 8th house, we need to be really honest with ourselves about the strength of our desires and how obsessive we can be, because Mars, you know, as a hunter in the context of the 8th house, we are a great strategist. So there is a kind of a dangerous side to Mars in the 8th house. If we don't get what we want, we have to really control ourselves, because we can be very prone to reacting negatively to that, wanting to take revenge. So if Mars is in more aggressive signs and it's in the 8th house, it can be something, you know, revenge taking, or just being so intent on getting what we want, because the ego is so involved, and the I guess securing what our deepest desires are. It can be sometimes we can be a little bit scary. So this is my front yard and my side yard. See, all of these beds, this is my burn pile here. I have a few burn piles left from winter. I'm getting all of these beds prepared for flowers. So this is going to be all different flowers here. So foxgloves, tall flowers, spiky flowers, all back here. Delphiniums, Sweet William, more in the front, all through here. I don't know what I'm going to put in here. Bed over here, this I just broadcast seeded. Let me show you this. Here we go. Broadcast seeded this all with zinnias and liatris. So just really two things that are going to come up in here. Oh, and cosmos, 3 things that are going to come up in here. And then this over here is mostly sage that comes up, but I did plant a few pockets of different types of flowers. A few, like I did a lot of zinnias over in here. So that should come up pretty successfully. And then I've got this bed over here that is just starting to pop over on this side. I have to remove these cactus over here because the dogs have been running into them. This mound over here, and I have a couple of cactus here. I need to transplant those over to the other end where the dogs aren't running so free. And then I'm working on getting this tame. So it's going to be mostly zinnias in here and extremely low maintenance flowers. I can just broadcast seed and not worry about it. A few other spiky things that I threw in there too. So pots I have to move, another burn pile I'm trying to get through. I think I will take those trees out and put a little conservatory greenhouse there, or I'm going to put it right there. I can't decide. I really can't decide. I'm going to have to get your guys' opinion. Oh, I didn't think about actually putting it in this bed right here. That's a possibility too. I have to think about that. So let me see if I have another question here. Let's see, Sun square Sun in Sinistry. Is it bad long term? No, it's actually not an uncommon thing to see. Look at this. The ice storm broke so many of my branches. This one I still have to do something with. Look what it did to my tree. So much of it is sad. So yeah, I don't know if this guy's even gonna make it. He's like 50% down. So we'll have to see. This guy's leaning. More branches broken over here. The snow that we got was actually more damaging than I initially thought it was going to be. Look at this poor branch over here. Sun square Sun. It's not uncommon in relationships, functioning relationships even. Mars square Mars is definitely harder than Sun square Sun. You are going to run into some amount of ego conflict with each other. There will be some amount of reacting to each other in a way that the other person doesn't prefer, in a way that can make us feel like, that's cute, in a way that can make us feel like, hey, you didn't give me the kind of validation that I'm looking for. I'm kind of offended by that. Or it ruffles our feathers. They're not seeing us in the way that we see ourselves. So we tend to want to defend ourselves against that. We tend to want to make sure that the other person, there's too much sun here. Can't see my camera. We want to make sure that the other person gets it. And so we can be really prone to arguing our point. So if we feel like, hey, you didn't give me the kind of applause or validation that I really deserve or that I really want, we're going to stand up for ourselves with that particular square. And we can just be very argumentative. So ego conflict, it's not the worst kind of ego conflict. Mars is worse. Mars Pluto is worse. Sun Mars is worse. Sun Pluto is worse. But Sun Sun is something where we are somewhat abrasive towards each other. And we have to really pay attention to what brand of attention, validation, applause the other person wants. What does the sun in that particular sign want? What kind of ego strokes do we want? And we have to, sometimes bend. The sun is a part of our ego. We want to be right. And sometimes we have to give of ourselves, or we have to be, we have to practice some humility in order to give the other person the kind of attention or appeal to them. It's not that we're changing the kind of attention or we're faking it. It's like we're packaging it in a way that can be consumed by the person that we're offering it to. So it's us, but we are doing our best to come across in a way that makes sense to the other person. So therefore, what it is that we're trying to give them translates and is appreciated by them. So we don't want to bend so much of the time with Sun Square Sun, because we feel like, I should get to be myself. Well, you can get to be yourself, but you also have to balance that with, what are you selling? What is it that you're trying to get across? And, be a little bit more flexible. Let's see. Yeah, 33 viewers, Libra Sun. A little bit light tonight. Usually I have more 80 plus or so, but it is dinner time, so maybe people are busy living their lives. So maybe tomorrow I will put on an official fundraiser for my garden, because I don't feel like I should foot the bill for this entire thing. If we all want to enjoy this retreat, then I think that I should be able to rely on you guys to some degree. I never ask my audience for anything, but I think I'm going to ask you to help me with this. Let's see. What happens if my natal chart doesn't have anything in certain houses? How do I figure that out? Well, just because you have an empty house doesn't mean there's nothing going on there in that area of life. You have to look at what is the house ruler. So what sign rules that house? Where is the house ruler? What house is that house ruler coming through? What sign is that house ruler coming through? And how is it aspected? So this is going to show you the goings on of the ninth house. Most of us have some empty houses. Some of us have a lot of empty houses. It doesn't mean that those areas of life are missing or sad or bad or, any less prominent than the other areas of life. You just have to look at, where is that house ruler? What is it doing? And that will show you the content of that particular house. Asylum, Jupiter in conjunct the ascendant, Venus in conjunct to the ascendant. I love Jupiter in conjunct to the ascendant people because they are hilarious. You want to meet somebody irreverent? Jupiter in conjunct the sun or Jupiter in conjunct the ascendant people. They are funny, funny, funny. Venus in conjunct to the ascendant can be a little weird, as we're really wrestling with mobilizing our talents and really a lot of the best parts of ourselves, so we could be really holding that back. We're dealing with a confidence issue with that in conjunction, but typically we have more to offer than the people around us, and a beautiful singing voice. A lot of people do. Beautiful, beautiful singing voice. Let's see. Someone in your comments section asked if you would feel comfortable sharing you and your ex-husband's composite Davidson. I would love to hear about that and how things played out. I don't think so. No, we got to let some history go by. That one's like trying to figure out World War II. not enough years have gone by to know everything and to have the correct kind of perspective to, I think, have a really good complete understanding about what's going on there, first of all. And it's too personal. I don't want to look at my family's charts in public. Let's see. And I have to ask my ex-husband about that. He's probably fine with it. He's actually a really good guy. Really good guy. He still takes me out sometimes on dates. We like each other. Let's see. Could you talk about Venus conjunct North Node in Synastry? So, it is the planet person that is helping the North Node person or assisting the North Node person with their dharmic mission or on their dharmic path. And it's really the North Node person that benefits from those contacts to inner planets. So there's a support that someone's lending as the Venus person. They're lending their support, they're lending their love, sometimes they can lending their resources, their money. They're helping the North Node person to achieve what it is that the North Node is really asking of them. So the North Node person can be much more apt to take. And if it's the Moon or Venus conjunct to the North Node, we are definitely more apt to give. Let me turn my camera around so you guys can see my beautiful daffodils here. Isn't that pretty? I planted all of these in my containers last fall. I have tulips coming up, more tulips, lots of tulips actually. And plastic that the girls are eating. Oh God, any kind of bags I leave out, they just go crazy on them. Over here we've got more beautiful daffodils. All kinds of beautiful tulips coming up over here. And in this bed, it's just coming to life. All my roses over here. This is going to be just chocked full of liatris and annuals of all kinds. But gosh, just in the next 2 weeks, this bed is going to go absolutely crazy. I do have quite a bit of weeding to do in here, but those gorgeous carnations over there, these daylilies, are just starting to come up. Let's see, in Synastry, Venus quintile Saturn. I haven't seen that one very much. As far as I know, and I haven't only seen it a handful of times, it's an easier aspect between the two. We don't have as much of the blockages or the obstacles that we have with the difficult aspects. So, there's an essential getting each other that's there with the quintile, but there is still some measure of needing to get with each other's timing in order to form a continuous commitment or connection. So, but the aspects between Venus and Saturn generally do imply the easy aspects, and this one is more or less easy, do imply that we have a good arrangement when it comes to our ideas about how we're going to live, what are the contracts that we'll make, what's binding us to each other. Oh, this is a good one. I'm sorry, something just flew into my ear. Moon square moon in synastry. Hold on. Let me make sure my girls didn't escape. Girls? Girls? Girls! Livy? They did escape. Hold on. Let me go over here and get them. Livy! Violet! Get back in here right now. Get back in here right now. Get back in here, you bad girls. Oh, you need a flock of sheep. You really do. All right, so. Where's my question again? Let me find it again. God, where did it go? So moon square moon in synastry, but moon conjunct Venus. So the day-to-day, you're going to have some amount of friction when it comes to, no eating pine cones. We don't eat pine cones. I looked that up. That's not a good thing. No. There's going to be some amount of friction when it comes to how we are going to interpret. I'm going to use my hands here to express myself in front of the camera. That's funny. How we're going to interpret each other's feelings, what's normal to us, what our expectation about a lot of shoulds are. We're going to have some friction on the day-to-day there, but all in all, and how we would both describe the relationship to a therapist, because that's very much what the composite chart is showing us, is what would both of us go into a therapist's office and sit down and say? That's the composite chart that's coming up there, not the synastry. The composite chart is what we're both engaging in. The composite chart is what we're bringing out in each other. Because you ever notice that some people bring out ease in you? Some people bring out excitement. Some people bring out intelligence. Some people bring out anger. Different people bring out different aspects of us. And that's why I say that we want to find a relationship that brings out the best in us, or at least the better in us. And sometimes it won't bring out everything that's exclusively positive, but you know, we want to have it bring out the things that no escaping sunrise, no escaping. We want to have it bring out the things that, you know, we'd like to be, our better potentials. So that's what we're going to see in the composite chart with the Venus-Moon conjunction. Ooh, in fact, the composite chart in this relationship that I'm exploring, it's still very early, but I'm exploring, we have the trine, the exact to the degree trine between the Moon and Venus, which is the holy grail of emotional connection. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But the Moon-Venus conjunction, oh, beautiful, beautiful way to relate to each other emotionally. The trine, the sextile, wonderful, wonderful aspects to have. The square, it's very exciting. There's a ton of love. There's a ton of affection. There's a ton of sex. It's very compulsive in how you express your affection to each other. Doesn't necessarily mean, though, that we are emotionally automatically compatible. But God, is there a lot of attraction and emotional expression with that one. But we don't get the serenity that we get with the other good aspects. The conjunction, the sextile, the trine, the quintile. We get that real sense of emotional commonality, peace, support, safety. So yeah, those really good Moon-Venus aspects in composite charts are just unparalleled when it comes to, is showing that we're very emotionally compatible and suited to each other. Let's see. What else have we got here? Just looking here at whatever questions I want to answer. I'm going to take one more, and then I'm going to go inside and make dinner. So is Vita square Saturn a composite chart a deal breaker? No, but it's one of those where we can't have too much hope in, or we can't put too much weight in the commitment that is going to form. It may not gel in the way that it will with other easy aspects. The square is something where we kind of have to say, all right, well, not kind of, we absolutely have to say, all right, given who this person is right now, am I going to be able to be with them in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or more years from now if they never change and they're exactly as they are now? If the answer is yes, that square might be okay. If the answer is no, it's probably going to be something that puts a lot of pressure on the relationship, because we'll be getting into it with the hope, because the hope that there's going to be improvement in, that saying, I think I said it a few days ago, women get into relationships hoping to God that the man will change. And men get into relationships hoping to God that the woman will never change. So if we've got that square, we have to be willing to accept that there may not be improvement. And what we've got is what we got. So if it's good enough, all right. If it's not, we're probably going to be developing some amount of resentment, because we're going to feel like the commitment that we've made is falling short in a very key way. Let's see. Yeah, Wits, are you coming for dinner? Can you watch me make dinner without Astro Talk? What am I making for dinner? I am going to make vegetable teriyaki tonight with sticky rice. My kitchen is a mess. In fact, my house is a mess. It is. I'm actually a really good housekeeper. I love keeping house. You know what? Even though I am a very progressive woman, I love domestic life. I just love it. I love being a mother. I love keeping house. I love taking care of a partner. I even love stuff like doing laundry. I love that kind of stuff. I love the routine of daily life. And I love caretaking. I love taking care of the people that I love in a, like in a material way. I loved when I was raising children in the morning. I would get up in the early morning before they went to school. And I would get the laundry out of the dryer. And I would sit and watch morning news or finish watching the movie that maybe I'd started the night before or something. I'd sit and watch TV and fold laundry and drink my coffee. And I loved it's like it's a meditative chore. So I was thinking about that the other day, that those were some lovely mornings when I was raising kids, and I had that half an hour to myself in the morning, because children, they usually get up as soon as they can get up. But yeah, I love taking care of stuff. I love cooking. I think that's why I love gardening so much, is because I get to be a mother. It's something that never ends. I get to mother plants. I get to grow plants. I get to propagate them. Everything that has to do with parenthood comes out in gardening. So I'll always have babies. Let's see. What do I think about having a stellium in the second house in synastry? I had that with my ex-husband. It's fine. The second house in composites is fine. Second house in synastry is fine as a stabilizing place. It's a sensual place as well. Yeah, that can mean that there's a lot of physical appreciation and potentially agreement about stuff and resources. And that's one of the main things that we can complain about and fight about in long-term relationships and marriages is money. Oh, damn it. Hold on. The girls are escaping again. No, girls. No. Sunrise, you get back in here right now. Ugh, damn it. Hold on, girls. I mean, people. Hold on. Let me get her. Get back in here. All right, you're going inside. No more of this escaping to get the delivery people. Go inside right now, baby girls. Come on, come with mommy. Come with mommy. Come on. Time for treats. Time for treats. Go inside. Time for treats. Children. Speaking of babies, you see, I've still got some. Come on. Sunrise, come inside. Oh my God. She has been doing this lately. She keeps pulling this business where she does not want to go in like everybody else. You get inside right now. You go inside the house. Get inside. These girls, Pomeranians. Pomeranians are not a gentle breed, by the way. Get inside right now. Pomeranians are very smart, very spirited. Right now. Get inside. Very spirited. And they are not shy. I used to have Maltese. That is a gentle breed. That is a delicate breed. These are not delicate dogs, Poms. What was I talking about? I completely lost my train of thought here. Let me see. Oh, second house. We are concerned about keeping each other safe, too, physically safe. And it can lead to a certain amount of jealousy, sometimes over stuff. But usually it's okay. But if you do have that opposition or difficult aspects between Venus and Pluto on composite charts and stuff in the second, that can show that we are definitely fighting more over resources. Would I want to have another child? Oh, baby, no. I'm 49. I'm 49 years old. I can't have another child. That would be very unplanned in my life. No, I want to enjoy my time. My children are 21 and 23. And they are both making noises about not having children of their own, as most of their generation is, not planning on having children of their own. So I will, I think a lot about adopting a child from the state or adopting a special needs child. Not sooner, maybe later. Maybe, my mid-50s or later. But I need to be able to focus on that, more full-time. But that might be something that I decide to do in the future. But, my farm animals and adopting animals in need, that can keep me pretty busy. I will be adopting a couple of cats, at least one cat, but maybe two, maybe next month or so after my laundry room is finished. In fact, would you guys like to go with me? Would you like to go with me to the cat sanctuary and help me pick out a cat? Maybe two cats. Wouldn't that be fun? Let's see. When I get horses, you guys will have to come with me too. I really want to get more horses, but honestly, it's going to take a little bit of muscle for me to get the infrastructure in place first. What is Sunrise's sign? They were born. Oh, you know what? I should pull up their charts, but they were born the Monday after Thanksgiving last year. How do pets show up in the chart? They have natal charts just like everything else. People, events, pets, they all have a chart. Marcel, I have Sun conjunct Uranus, both sextile Pluto in the natal. The Sun conjunct Uranus is nice as long as we aren't too convinced that we're the shit. Some people can really annoy me with that conjunction. Honestly, seriously, some of you Sun conjunct Uranus people, you annoy me. Sun conjunct Mars people, you annoy me. Sun conjunct Pluto people, you fucking annoy me. Because you all think that you are the cat's goddamn meow. And sometimes you are, in some ways. In some ways, we just do not know how potentially entitled we are with those conjunctions. And we're usually very sexy. We're usually very, we have some, leadership qualities about us, or alpha qualities about us. Really good things going on with those conjunctions. But I annoy people too with my Moon Uranus conjunction, especially my children. But that does sextile to Pluto, that might make it more possible for you to be more introspective than people usually are with that conjunction. We usually think we're totally enlightened with that conjunction. But it does provide some serious big dick energy. Oh, is you overwhelmed by all those animals to take care of? You mean, Cece? No, I live alone. I have time to take care of animals. That's what I love so much, taking care of plants and animals. Is there significance in a first meeting chart? There is, yeah, that shows us what the mood of the situation was, what something came out of. Britt, I don't see why I shouldn't be direct and honest. I don't see why I shouldn't be, you know? If you're honest about who you are, then it makes it really apparent who really likes you and who really doesn't. If you put your values out there, then it makes it really clear who really wants to be around you and who doesn't. And I think before we really are okay with who we are, we want to appeal to everybody. We can be more prone to people pleasing. And it's hard to be rejected. It's hard to be isolated. It's hard not to be liked. It's hard not to be desired. But I've come to see that I have to live with myself first. I have to live with myself first. And I love living with myself so much. I spend most of my time with myself, because I prefer my own company. And I'm jealous of my own time. I love who I am. I love it. And I like being with myself. I enjoy my life. I enjoy looking at myself. I enjoy being myself. And I am not for everybody. But everybody's also not for me. So, it took some amount of life to really allow people to choose me or not. Because I had a hard time with rejection. When you have avoidance in your personality, like I do, I have a lot of dismissive avoidance in my personality that I've overcome. You do not want to be rejected. That's a core wound. Shame and rejection. Oh, God. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible to be afraid of those things. It will limit you. You can only go as far as those fears will allow you to. And now I can still have some bouts of insecurity. But for the most part, I don't give a fuck about what other people think. If it gets in the way of who I really am and how I need to express myself in order to be able to live with myself. I'm not willing to cut parts of myself off to fit. If it doesn't fit, there's other friends, there's other relationships, there's other people that will fit. So rather than murdering parts of ourselves, abandoning parts of ourselves, cutting parts of ourselves off I think we need to remove ourselves from certain situations and from certain people so we can remain whole and we go find something better. But that means that we will be risking rejection. We will be removing ourselves from a situation where we could have found approval some way. But you gotta live with yourself first. So I don't mind not being accepted because I would rather accept myself. How was it growing up with an Aries stellium mom? Oh, she's fun. My mom is fun. She's my best friend. I love going places with her, especially on vacation. Oh, she's so much fun on vacation. I always make her do all the driving. I always make her take all the risk in the rental car, and she always accepts because she's actually never had a speeding ticket in her life ever. She's never gotten ever in trouble with the man when it comes to traffic stuff. I got one speeding ticket once when I was 19 years old. That's the only time I've ever been pulled over, actually, or gotten a ticket of any kind. She's fun. I love having an Aries mom. She is a kick in the pants and extremely irreverent. She was a conservative mother growing up, but she has definitely let her hair down and found herself as she's gotten older. And she's just so much fun. She has been milking the titty pitty, though, with her breast cancer. And we have all been definitely pouring into her more than we usually do. She deserves it. Let's see. Oh, we're almost at an hour here. I am going to wrap up it here in just a few minutes. Well, this is a good question. I don't know if I can answer it tonight. How can we get better at setting boundaries when you struggle with knowing yourself completely? That is a whole sermon, my dear, that I will probably have to give from beginning to end. There's different steps to that. First, you have to know what you want. You have to be in contact with your feelings and your desires and your wants. Then you will have to enforce your boundary for 6 months to a year, because typically the people that know us, that are close to us, they're going to keep testing that. It's actually something creates insecurity when we change or set new boundaries. The people around us, they will try to get things to go back to the way they've always been. So it takes a certain amount of muscle to continue to keep that in place. Oh, Ariana, you're a recovering avoidant too. Oh, I'm glad you're recovering, because if you're not recovering, that means you're still out there breaking hearts, and we don't need to be doing that. No. I don't like dealing with other avoidants. No, because I don't do things to them that hurt anymore. It's like being a recovering alcoholic. I'll always be somebody that has those potentials in me, but I am certainly not going to act on them. Now, that doesn't mean that I can't do something outside of my conscious vision. I can mess up, but I need people to tell me that. I need them to reflect that to me so I can do something about it. Let's see, D. Evans, I'm dismissive avoidant as well. You will stay stuck to people who do those things to you. Yeah, it was a relationship that broke us as an avoidant or somebody with an anxious style. It was a relationship that broke us. And it's a relationship that will fix us as well. We don't, hold on. Oh. You fix it by learning how to be different. Somebody who can help you with that and can model that behavior and teach you how to be different within a relationship. And many times it's going to be the emotional repair that happens with a therapist. It will help you to overcome those anxious issues or those avoidant issues. Sometimes it can be somebody that's securely attached that can help you to overcome those issues within a relationship. But very much of the time, somebody with a damaged attachment system, they will get better, they will improve if they're in a relationship with somebody that's securely attached, because the secure person will rub off onto them. The secure person will bring them along. The secure person will model behavior that the insecurely attached person needs to see. But as avoidants or as anxious people or as people that have either one or the other, if we get with each other, it makes it worse. It exacerbates the issues. But so much of the time, people that are securely attached don't want to be with somebody that is insecurely attached. Sometimes you can find somebody that knows what they're doing, is patient with you, is willing to deal with your issues. Sometimes somebody's willing to understand you. And they can give you the kind of empathy and the deference that you need in order to heal. But many times it's going to be the relationship that we form with a therapist that is going to be able to provide the climate for emotional repair. Girls, they're just back from their walk. It's just dogs that you see every day. It's humans that you already know. Let's just let this pass. I know. The dude I dated, the scientist I dated last summer and fall, he referred to my Pomeranians as birth control. Although he did come to love them. He was a dog person. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just going to the bottom here. Underground. Do you study psychology? Yes, that was what I studied in college. Counseling, human sexuality, behavioral science. Yeah, Ariana. I never meant to hurt, but I realized I was. It's strange how the things that hurt us cause us to hurt others. Yeah, that's how Pluto works. We kind of pass our stuff on. Excuse me. The Sun conjunct Uranus No, I already looked at that one, Marcel. What happens when Pluto transits conjunct Node and Saturn in composite? So it's going to be a long-term transit. Issues with probably not having enough restriction when it comes to resources. Yeah, if you find my dog's annoying, get off the live. Thank you, Violet. Thank you, Violet. Yeah, I do have to make dinner. So I will take one more. How does a fifth... hold on. Where did it go? Where did it go? How does a fifth house Mars and Aquarius show up? Fifth house Mars is great. It's in a fire house. We tend to be, very much into dancing, romancing. Hopefully we're not the town playboy. In Aquarius, we can be more experimental. But no, that's a good place for Mars to be. It's fun. Are people with a grand trine favorites of God? No. It just means that you have some good things going on when it comes to not having to try. With trines, we don't have to try. Sun conjunct Neptune, both trine midheaven. So Sun conjunct Neptune is a bit of a challenge when it comes to knowing what we really are, what we want, identity issues, boundary issues. But the trine to the midheaven is very good. Yeah, very good. We're very marketable with that particular trine. So it's easy to find the kinds of employers, bosses, authority figures that are going to resonate with us. We're very, very employable, marketable, great reputation with that. Very good. All right, so I've got a small sink full of dishes to get to, and then I've got to make some dinner. I am going to sign off for tonight. I'm going to click right over to my private YouTube subscriber group. If you guys don't belong to that, then find a way to get over there, because I'm going to start doing a weekly lesson in there. It'll be like the cheapest course you ever buy from me. So you need to get over there. If you haven't joined my YouTube subscribers group, find how to do that on my YouTube page. Find one of my members only videos and subscribe over there. So I think I'm gonna move my upcoming Synastry course. That's where we're gonna hold that. Either the Synastry course or my upcoming no, I don't think I want to do the asteroid course in there. Yeah, I think we'll do the Synastry. Might move my transits course over to that platform as well. So we will see. Alrighty. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow, maybe. And if you are in my private YouTube subscriber group, I'll see you in a few minutes.